Well, the French Revolution for Hegel really represented it was the coming of the end of history, so to speak. Now, by the French Revolution, we don't mean just a limited historical event. What we mean is the emergence of what we understand as modern liberal democracy, because in the French Revolution, ultimately, what it was about was a revolution in favor of the principles of liberty and equality. Now, you could substitute the American Revolution for that, because I think, in a kind of ideological sense, those two revolutions were equivalent. I mean, they were both, revolutions to create, what I earlier defined as a liberal democracy, a political system based on popular sovereignty with guarantees of individual rights. And for Hegel, the coming of the French Revolution was the event that heralded the end of history, because it meant that the principles of liberty and equality on which modern liberal democracy is based had finally been discovered and had been implemented only in a small corner of Europe back in the late 18th century, but at least the principle was established. And I think modern Hegelians would argue that what's happened in the 200 years since the French Revolution is simply the implementation of those principles around the world. And in other words, we haven't progressed in any fundamental sense since the French Revolution.